So I'm
Okay.
interrupting you guys.
Okay. So last time, a long time ago on Deltora Quest, you guys had traveled from the shifting sands for many, many days and days and days. You were much parched when you came across a conveniently located spring of water. Set in a lovely forest type setting with lots of trees, but the trees all looked oddly the same. Not only that, there were some boulders that all looked oddly the same. After much discussion and a lot of debate, everyone eventually drank from the spring, where you were each went to sleep and had different dreams throughout the night. Oleg had some dreams regarding Jared the blacksmith, seeing him captured and in the dungeon in Dell. Uh, Blake saw a vision of her children, her oldest and her youngest, who were at home, and her youngest was rather homesick. Well, not homesick, but missing her mommy. Celine, you also had a dream about a woman who seemed very maternal. You don't know much about her, but she does give you a warm, fuzzy feeling. And most importantly, Octavius had a dream about that one
With my
time,
own warm, fuzzy feeling.
that one time in that one tavern with that one chick named Rachel. The following
Congratulations.
day or the following
It's
morning.
always a Rachel.
Yep. Well, because I had to name her something. So the following morning, Oleg was the first to rise, and he saw this strange creature drinking from the spring. And upon observing her, realized that she was a kin, a legendary folk of Deltora who, their type hasn't been seen for a long time. They're very large creatures that used to be mistaken for dragons and were frequently shot from the sky. After rescuing this little kin, her name is Prin, from some gray guards who unfortunately drank the water and turned into trees, the rest of the kin woke up, and after some conversation and learning what your goal is, they agreed to transport you to Dread Mountain. On the way there, you guys have stopped at Kinrest for the night because the kin are not able to fly all the way to Dread Mountain in one go, and this place has a good landing spot and takeoff spot for them because if you remember, they have just little tiny wings that they gotta kind of drop off of the land and hover first before they can take flight. So you guys landed. There was a brief conversation between Oleg and Octavius regarding his itching, and that is where you are now.
You still itching?
Nope, all better.
I can make a cream for that if you need.
No, I'm good. I'm. I think the whole team has inspected everything around my Ghibli bits enough. I'm ready to move on.
You can never be too careful.
If the itching comes back, I'll let you know.
Please do. I would hate for it to get worse.
Pretty sure I was talking to Oleg, but yes.
So is this nighttime?
It's late afternoon, early evening. The sun's still up, but it is starting to set. It's later in the day.
Would you consider the 5 weeks since we last played a long rest?
Well, you'd had a long rest before that as well too. So yes, you're fully rested. Everybody's got all their HP, spell slots, blah blah.
Did we level up?
No.
We're still level 7.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna start making camp since we're staying the night here, right?
Yes, yeah, they can tell you that they will be taking off in the morning once everybody's awake and had their breakfast.
Okay. So I'm gonna start making camp, getting things ready. Um, without metagaming, are we able to see that cave off in the distance?
With the amount of trees, and I got bored putting trees on this map because there's a lot of trees. No, like you wouldn't have direct line of sight on it right now, especially with that big bush that is like right here in your way.
And I'm not one who would just naturally go off wanting to explore the area, so I will not be the one finding it.
Jasmine is going to walk over. Whoops. Whoa, wrong thing. What am I doing? Oh, okay. Never mind. Jasmine is going to walk over to this tree here that she's standing by, and she puts her hand on it. And she stands there for a minute. She says, Oleg,
Yes.
um, these trees, they're very happy to see the kin again.
Yeah. Nice. You're able to feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. And the kin haven't been up this way for a good while, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time since they started getting hunted by the dread gnomes. They haven't been back to Kin's Rest or to Dread Mountain for a long, long time.
I'm guessing since it's been so long since they've have been here that guess it kind of makes sense since this is their home.
Well, and you'll remember from the conversation they had before, this is kind of like halfway between where the Dreaming Spring was and Dread Mountain. This is just kind of a rest stop for them because they can't make the entire journey in one day.
All right.
So it was just some place that they would frequent each year as they would migrate back and forth from Dread Mountain to the Dreaming Spring, which was basically their breeding grounds.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Saylin's just gonna swim in the river.
I don't know that you're going to do a lot of swimming because it's not super deep. It's more of a creek, but so it's not very
That's
deep.
fine.
But you can definitely
She'll just
soak.
be in there. Yeah.
Oleg,
Yes.
the trees say something else. They say that something happened here. Blood has been spilled, and someone they care for died.
That's interesting. Do you know if it's another tree or if it's a? Does it seem like a caretaker?
Trees don't have blood, Oleg.
Well, to be honest, and to be fair, people don't generally turn into trees either. We saw that.
True, but no. It was the image or the feeling I got. It was specifically that someone died. Not another tree. There's a different type of mourning.
Maybe we should bring it up with the again. Maybe they might have some insight.
The trees can't really tell me. They don't look at time the same way that we do. It could have been a week ago. It could have been 200 years ago. So, yeah, we can certainly ask them. I don't know that they're gonna know anything, but yeah.
I wonder if it's when they were forced off the mountain. Maybe that's what you're feeling like. Maybe an elder was attacked and killed. Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's go ask. Worst case is they don't know, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. What did you? And you will have noticed that the kin just like took off in all different directions, and they're just excited. They're running around picking pine cones off of these trees and eating them and just having a good time. They act like they're basically like, like an adult that's reliving their childhood. They're just so excited to be here again.
I think Oleg will walk over to Blake and kind of relay the conversation that Jasmine and I had, and just say we're gonna go off looking to see if we can find. What was the mom's name again? Was it? I know it starts with the B. I thought
Bruna.
Bruna.
Yes. So we've got Marin, Aisla, Bruna, and Saren.
Well, Jasmine, let's see if we can go find Bruna.
Sure. Yeah, I can go with you. Is everybody else here okay? I think.
Oleg will look over. You guys want to come with us, or you guys just want to stay here at camp?
Shaylin will.
As you look over towards me,
make
I
her way
quickly
over.
pull my hands away from scratching.
God. Shaylin will make her way over. Like, yes, I would like to go.
Okay. So I guess we'll have a big powwow and we'll relay what Jasmine has discovered with the trees.
I'm coming with you. I wanna hear the conversation. I'm curious.
Hey, Lotus, do you think you could find Bruna?
Lotus kind of looks at you with this look of like, huh?
So Oleg will take a stick and draw in the dirt. A very crude drawing of a dog and point to the nose and try to draw Bruna as best he can and then point into the woods.
So Blake looks at the dog and goes, go find Bruna. And the dog takes off. The funny thing is that while Lotus can understand me, she cannot understand anyone else.
Ah, it must have been my good drawing.
Blake looks at you like, no?
It was very detailed.
It was
Yep.
amazing.
Blake's
How did
gonna
that work
take
out
off
then?
after her dog because dog.
Okay.
Guys,
Yes.
hi. Were you looking for us? We were looking for you.
What's up?
Well, okay. So we haven't been here
Why is there only two of you?
The others are in the cave.
What cave?
Hey.
Oh, there's a cave over there. That's where we used to sleep when we would stop here.
Oh. Okay.
But there's something we think you should maybe see.
Is there something evil and monstrous inside the cave we have to kill?
No. There was nobody in there. It's just, I don't know. It's different. There's something I think you need to see.
Okay, lead the way.
Okay. So the kin will start leading you. How did I do the select all before? I know I figured this out before. Move.
Don't you just like highlight a whole chunk and it?
I thought I
grabs
did,
all of us?
but I can't get it to highlight a whole. Oh, maybe I just. Oh, well, I got everybody but Blake. Blake.
Let's be fair, Blake is tiny.
No,
And
I
Blake
just
should have
didn't
already
draw
been on
very
their.
well.
Blake should have been on their way over there anyways because Blake was chasing the dog.
Oh,
I
now
was
I'm just
chasing dog.
rotating Lotus. I don't know. Okay, feel free to put you guys wherever you want to be, but I at least get you to the cave. So they lead you into this cave, and Bruna says, we were exploring this cave. This is where we used to play as young ones, and we found some things, and we thought you might like to see them.
What do you got?
And she gestures over here.
Gravestone?
Uh, yeah, that's what it seems to be.
I wonder if this is what you're feeling, Jasmine.
I'm over here looking at it. What does it say on it?
It says, I'm not going to make you roll to read. Wait, can you read? Can Octavius read?
I can read.
Okay,
I
good.
can read.
Okay, just making sure. It says, "Here lies Doom of the Hills, who sheltered a friendless stranger and so met his death. He will be avenged."
I read it to the group. I'm
Doom
not
that guy
repeating it
that
because I can't remember it all, but yes, I read it to the group.
helped- Doom that guy that helped us.
I think
Jasmine will
so.
chime up and she'll say, "Yeah, he's the one that I fought in, what was that city we were in? Oh, Rithmir. Rithmir.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy with the black cloak thing."
Yes. He helped me get you guys out of the graveyards.
That's
Captivity.
before I met you guys. You want to fill me in?
I believe he was the one guy who did help them get us, free us.
Yes. Yep.
Wait, that ranger dude?
Yeah. His name is Doom.
Well, that's sad.
Um, Anybody that would like to, while you guys are checking out this grave, give me an insight check.
Right. Dice.
They do help.
8.
That is a grave.
Yeah. No, I rolled a nat 1. So.
Oh,
I
you're not
also
even
rolled a
sure it's
nat.
a grave.
I also rolled a nat 1, but I got a 9 total.
I got a 14.
I got a 21.
And that makes sense, I guess, since you were the one that was over there reading this headstone, Octavius. Looking at it, and with the timeline of like when, you know how long ago it was that you guys were rescued, and them talking previously about the Rithmir games. This grave looks way older than that. Like it's probably been here for a number of years. You'd say probably by the dust that's accumulated on it, at least probably 10 years or so.
All right, I'm gonna talk to the group about that. So, maybe this is like one of his ancestors or relatives, or maybe he's from like a clan of people named the same thing. Because this is too old to be his.
The Doom Clan.
I mean, it could be the original Doom, and whoever wrote that became Doom. Because didn't the last part say you will be avenged? Or
It says,
Yeah,
"Here
so
lies Doom of the
maybe there can
Hills."
only be
Oh,
one Doom.
sorry. I thought you wanted me to read it again.
No, that's fine.
I did.
Okay. "Here lies Doom of the Hills, who sheltered a friendless stranger, and so met his death. He will be avenged."
So maybe the Doom we know was the friendless stranger of this guy, and he's avenging this dead person's death.
Potentially.
It is
I mean,
possible, yes.
maybe.
And then he took on the name because he wanted to avenge him.
It is.
Also known as he created a Doom clan. He's just the current only member.
Well, he said he was part of the resistance and that he had his own place. Um,
Well, when we see him again, we'll have to ask him about it.
yes. Bruna,
Yes.
Jasmine here has ability to communicate with nature. And
Mm-hmm.
she says that the forest
The forest what? Bleeds?
weeps sad.
Oh,
Somebody had fallen, so I'm wondering if this grave is what the forest was going on, what Jasmine was feeling.
I mean, possibly. This wasn't here the last time we were here, but that was a long, long time ago.
Yeah,
Okay, now they said stuff. There was things here. Can
No,
I like roll an investigation check to see if there's other stuff?
sure.
14 and 3, 17.
So as you're looking around, you're gonna see that there's like some discarded clothing that's kind of over against the wall, and what looks like it was some bedding at some point in time.
Can I look through it to see if there's anything useful to us?
Sure. And
Okay,
as you
I'm
go
now at the
through
pile
the
of stuff.
as you're going through the bedding, it's just disintegrating. It's just old scraps of cloth and turning to dust. It's not really anything. But you do find in the clothing, in one of the pockets, you find 5 silver pieces.
I'm rich. Hey, wait, I'm the only one in the group with money. I'm filthy rich.
No, Oleg has money.
Oh, Oleg
I'm
has some
broke
money.
as fuck.
Likewise.
Okay, I will give 1 silver piece to the other 2 broke people. So none of us are broke. Completely. And you never know when a silver piece could come in handy. Or 55 silver pieces, depending on, the circumstance.
I think it was 65 actually, wasn't
It
it?
was 55 for the other person, but I got charged more.
Oh, right, right, yeah. It's the goat
Yeah,
legs.
yeah. I didn't hear her complaining afterwards.
I mean, it's kind of her job, but you know.
Don't take it away from me. I already got one gift that keeps on giving. I gotta get something out of this.
Do you though?
No, but still.
the trees are also happy to see you guys return, Berna.
If we're just as happy to see them. I mean, those trees at the Dreaming Spring, they're not really trees. They look like trees and they do shade and stuff, but they're not really trees.
Yes, there seems to be a lot of trees there, which leads me to believe that there are a lot of bad people. That's good.
I mean, that kind of is why you guys are doing this, isn't it? Because there's a lot of bad people.
Yes. We always like to think that there's more good than bad.
Oh, yeah,
You know?
yeah. There's been a lot of bad people. Those people in all the gray clothing, they're bad. They're very bad.
Yeah, they're not quite very pleasant people, for sure.
No. Thank you again for saving Prin.
Oh, of course. I mean, I couldn't live with myself if I just stood by and watched her get hurt. It's just, this is not who we are.
I'm glad you're not a tree.
Me too, otherwise I would be a tree.
Yeah, this conversation wouldn't be happening.
Yes, that is very true.
Or would, it
Chansey.
would just be very one-sided.
Well, I'm really curious about this grave and everything, but I don't know if we're going to be able to gain any more information or insight.
You're not gonna dig it up or something, are you? That seems wrong.
No, that's desecrating a grave. And
Okay. I mean, it's bad enough that there's a grave in our cave, but yeah, that just seems. No. Don't do that.
no, there's lines, and that's one you don't cross. So
I put my shovel away.
yes, please do. So is there a campfire thing in here?
Yeah, there had been a campfire at one point. You can see kind of a fire pit. I wonder if there's like a constructs, clerics, props. Ooh, maybe I can get fancy and what are these props? These are not.
Is there any kind of like hearth, like meat racks or anything like what they would use for cooking on?
No, you don't see anything like that.
I think Oleg has cooking gear. I'm pretty sure he does. Yes, I do.
Well, that's as good as it's gonna. Oh Jesus!
And the Ring of Fire? I'm taking too
I'm out of
literally.
here. Thanks for letting me listen. I'll be back later.
Okay, there's your fire pit.
We'll go find like discarded branches because learning of the tree's affection toward Kenny has no desire to break anything off any of the trees.
And there are certainly
Should ask
lots
if
of,
he's just thinking-
limbs and pine needles and stuff that you can use to light a fire, no problem.
Okay, so we get wood, got a fire going, got some rations and stuff still.
Can we ask the trees if they know where any fruit is at?
Jasmine is gonna look at you and say, well, I mean, I've never tried to do that, but yeah, I can try.
Oh, would you try? Because it'd be really nice to have some fresh fruit.
Sure.
There's lots of trees, so who knows?
So Jasmine's gonna go over and try to talk to this tree and convey what she means by fruit. Okay. So, is everybody else staying in the cave?
I think
I'm following
so.
you out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow you out while you talk to the tree.
Octavius, these
Yes.
trees tell me that when I tried to convey fruit, they just kind of showed me pine cones. And so she's going to pick one up and hand it to you. She got a nat 1. She's not doing a really
I
good
guess that
job
makes sense
conveying
for this.
fruit.
I guess this kind of makes sense for this kind of tree to store their nutrients in pine cones.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the fruit of the tree for this kind of tree, right?
Yeah.
And can't you eat the seeds inside? I mean, I've eaten the seeds inside. You just cook them? And you have pine nuts?
I mean, yeah, it's food.
Look, I found lots of food.
You just never want to cook one of these when they're wet
Why?
because they explode.
Oh. Do they really?
Yeah. The moisture inside, as it vaporizes, builds up pressure, and they go off like little grenades.
I want to cook wet pine cones now. Okay. I'm not doing that.
Did you not just? Mother. Safety.
Right.
Yeah, if you do it in a campfire, the sap in the pine cone seals the outside so the moisture can't escape, and it just builds pressure inside until pop, and pine cone explodes everywhere.
Oh. Nature's popcorn.
I mean, technically corn. It's still nature's popcorn.
I mean, yeah, you weren't supposed to call me out on that, but yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I just wasn't gonna say it.
Bruna, do you guys need some food? What do you guys eat exactly?
No, we're good. And she reaches into her pouch and she pulls out a whole bunch of these pine cones and just plops a whole pine cone in her mouth and starts chewing. No, we're good. We've got lots of food.
Okay.
Do you
I
guys
look at the
not
pine
eat
cone and I put
pine
one in my
cones?
mouth and start chewing. I'm doing the goat thing. I just threw a whole pine cone in my mouth and started chewing.
Salen, not being like versed in this world, will try to mimic him and just eat a pine cone.
I mean, Blake is a mouse. She does just take the pine cone.
I guess three pine cones.
Jasmine is
Sorry,
going to
Oleg.
start like de-seeding her pine cone to cook it, looking at you guys rather strangely.
Oleg's gonna get into his bag and start eating some of these no bakes he's got.
Are you just how are you doing that?
Huh?
How are you just plopping it in your mouth or
I was cooking them on the fire.
okay? So when you take them out, I know it's been a while since you looked at these. They're just little white flat discs. They kind of look like a Necco wafer.
Oh, okay, I remember these. Never mind. Doesn't do that.
If you would like to read the instructions on them, you certainly can do that.
Do you add water to them? Do they puff up?
Exactly. Once you get them wet, they turn into loaves of bread.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh God! Wait a second. Please say he shoved one in his mouth and it started to swell inside of his face.
That's why I was asking. I'm like, that could be.
Yeah, maybe make that note. So Oleg will take a little bit of his water and dump on one of the no bakes.
No, you swallowed one of those. It is swelling in your stomach as we speak.
So Oleg has a loaf of bread and he's warming it over the fire, wishing he had some butter.
Oleg,
Yes.
didn't you say those are no bakes? Why are you baking the no bake? You're exactly doing what it tells you not to do with it.
Well, you add water.
Warm bread's always better.
Oh.
Then you warm the bread up. Now, if we had some nice butter, it would be even better, but
What is bread?
it's
It is ground up grain.
Then you knead it with some yeast and stuff, and it turns into a piece of bread. You've never had a piece of bread before, Jasmine?
No. I mean, I might have when I was really little, but I mean,
Well, I got a
I've
treat
been
for you.
alone.
Come try a piece of bread. You should try it raw, and then, well, it's not technically raw, it's cold, but then you can try it on the fire and warm it up and see if you like it.
Huh. You just see that she's just got a very perplexed look on her face. She's very confused by this bread that you have.
Oleg will take his little knife and he'll cut a slice of bread and hand it to her.
Thank you.
Give it a try.
Gonna do a luck roll just to see how she feels about this bread. Oh, this is amazing. You see her eyes get just super huge and she just starts like snarfing down this bread. It is the best thing. She's like, oh, like, this is amazing. You did this all by yourself?
Well, I bought these and they turn into bread, but you can make it yourself.
Bought them. Oh, that's like what we did you guys did at Tom's shop, right? You bought things with the shiny things.
Yes.
Wow.
I try it warmed up on the fire. It's even better.
She chucks the piece of bread in the fire.
Well, I have like a little pan.
Oh,
I
well, you
have,
didn't
I
specify.
have cooking gear.
Oh. Oh, I shouldn't have put it in the fire?
Put it in the pan.
Oh. Can I have another piece?
Yes. And slice another piece and give it to her.
She'll put this one in the pan. Now what?
Yeah, let it sit for about 10, 15 seconds and then flip it. And then eat it.
How, how do I how do I flip it?
By
Just
flipping
use a
it,
little
turn it over to the
spatula.
other side.
And there's a little spatula he's got.
She
Just put it
slaps the
underneath and
bread.
flip it. I'll show you. And he'll flip it over for her. See? Simple.
Wow. That's wow.
Yes. And he hands it to her. It's cooked.
I'm just watching this, like,
Oh, look, it is very
in utter
hot.
amazement.
It's very hot. It's burning my fingers. Is that normal?
Use a piece of cloth and blow it on a little bit. And
Okay. Jasmine has
Put it in your
discovered
face.
toast.
anybody else want toast? Or bread?
Salem
take
will
some
definitely
bread.
try some because she's
Yeah,
in
I'll
kind of
take
the
a
same boat
piece.
as Jasmine and not knowing what this is.
And yeah, you're probably not feeling great after, swallowing a pine cone.
Yeah, so she's really wary because so far land food not great.
Promise this tastes better, Salem.
I don't know, it was a
Okay,
pretty good pine cone. As I
Bruno,
crush another one.
Bruno, would you like to try bread?
Um. Um. Oh well.
It's made
Okay.
from grain.
Okay. Why is it so soft?
Oh, we can cook it and make it a little harder.
We,
There was water in it.
we really like crunchy stuff. Like really crunchy stuff. Like really, really crunchy stuff. Like pine cones. And she pops another pine cone in her mouth and starts chewing it.
We'll cook it, not to the point where it's burning, but make it real crispy toast and then hand it to her. Might not be as crunchy as a pine cone, but it's still crunchy.
So she'll divide it up between her and her, we'll just call them her sisters or her other kin mates. And yeah, they like it okay. They still prefer the pine cones, but they're like, thank you, that was good.
I mean, you guys like your pine cones, and good for you.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Oh, that's nice. Would you like a pine cone? I'll share.
Well, you tried mine, I'll try yours.
Blake has just been eating pine cones. His mouse.
Are you
likes
eating
pine
the
cones.
whole pine cone, or are you just like chewing out the nuts?
Let me roll for that. Does Blake just eat the whole pine cone? Yes.
Okay.
You eat the moist ones or the dry ones?
Dry.
We might have to do a Constitution saving throw here in a day or two, because that might bind up your system. But sure, okay, you eat a pine cone.
Then Oleg will crunch up little tiny pieces of bread and set it over for Curry and Keely. Keely?
Oh, and they will gladly scoop those up. They're not very picky eaters. They'll eat just about anything, especially Feely.
So I have gathered up the pile of clothing, and I have made a little bed out of it.
Glad we did this.
Yes, and Oleg will bust out his floating bedroll and he'll sleep on that.
So you have a floating bedroll.
Sure do.
Where the hell did you guys get all this magic shit? And here I am laying in someone's old stabby clothes.
Well, there was a shop before we got to the Rithbeer games. We bought some stuff.
So you got magic bread, a magic bedroll, a beautiful cooking set.
Yeah, sure do.
And I've got crabs.
This is what happens when you tell the GM things you like.
Yeah. Look on the bright side, you had some bread.
Now, Sir Titanius did have a floating bedroll, and somebody did take it, but I don't remember who.
It was Octavius.
Was it?
Yeah, I took everything of his, but I didn't look at it all.
Oh, okay.
Salem
I
didn't
guess I
like
should explore my
such
pack and
water.
see what I've got. Okay, I'm gonna look in my pack and be like, oh damn. And I'm gonna pull out this magical floating bedroll and lay it out.
So the floating bedroll, what it is it's basically what the name implies. It's not that it flies. You can't use it as like a magic carpet. You know, you're not freaking Aladdin all of a
It
sudden or
just
anything.
hovers off the ground.
It just hovers off of the ground, and just makes for a comfy bed. They have tried using it as a boat, and that did not work either.
No, we just have a
Titanius
soggy
used it
bedroll.
as a boat.
Yeah.
Huh?
What did you say, Dustin?
I said Titanius used it tried to use it as a raft. That didn't work.
Yes. Because it still it floated, but it still only floats about a foot off the ground, so it just sank to the bottom of the river and floated a foot off the bottom of the ground from the river. So it might be a
Fair enough.
great option for Celine if, she really enjoys a comfy mattress underwater.
That's true.
I am now curled up on this floating mattress.
And the kin will go over basically where they're at, and they just roll up into a ball. They look like a stone, like those stones that you'd seen, and go to sleep for the night.
Are they fluffy?
They've got like a fine fuzz, like a fine peach fuzz. Anybody doing anything else before you guys go to bed?
I don't think so. I think Sailing is
Um,
just hopping off to bed.
Are we standing watch?
I was just gonna ask Bruno if it's something that we should do, since this is their area.
I mean, it used to be safe, but that was 200 years ago, so I'm sure things have changed. And she looks over at the grave again and kind of gives like a little shiver that just basically makes her whole body kind of wobble, wobble, wobble.
I think keeping watch would probably be smart for an unfamiliar area. So I'll take first watch.
I'll take second.
I got third.
And if we need a fourth, I'll do fourth.
So you guys tuck in for the night, taking turns keeping watch, and no, nothing disturbs you guys during the night. You hear some animals moving around, maybe some rabbits and small critters, but nothing larger than that, and night goes quite peacefully.
Morning comes.
And the morning comes, and the sun rises.
Who wants more bread? Yeah.
Do I have any food in my pack at all?
I don't know, do you?
I'm pretty sure you gave me some rations. Hold on, let me check.
I mean, Oleg still has a fair amount of rations and a bunch of these no bakes.
I mean, I didn't specifically give anybody any food, so...
Yeah, I don't. So unless there was something purchased and put in here in this other pack, I don't have anything.
Let me consult. I'm glad I didn't throw this character sheet away.
Titanius had rations.
Well, we'll see how good his notes were, won't we? He has a fishwife. He was afraid of drowning. Had a bird statue. Nope, it does not say anything about food on here, so I'll say that he did have some, some random jerky and nuts and stuff. Not a lot, but, a little bit. You guys aren't, like, starving to death at the moment.
Is there any dried fruit?
Sure, yep, there'd be, like, some kind of trail mix type stuff. Ye old trail mix.
I'm going over to the fire and I'm dumping some water in and all of the dried fruit, and I'm gonna mash it up into a pulp and mix in some anything sweet that I got into it, and I'm going to make something to put on that bread.
Go ahead and give me. Oh, let's do this as performance. Let's see how well you perform making jam.
Oh, that's depressing.
Nature might have been better, but that's okay.
12.
12. It's okay. It's very chunky. It's not as sweet as you would like it to be. It's edible, but not great.
It's fruit pulp.
Yeah.
It's better than just bread, so I'm gonna take it and be happy with it, and I will offer it to the group.
I like bread.
Do you want some of this fruit pulp, warm fruit pulp, to put on your bread?
Yeah, I'm good. That pine cone filled me up from last night, so I'll just enjoy a slice of bread. I want to bind myself up any more than I already am.
Well, this fruit pulp help loosen it up.
That might be a problem too.
Guys, and this is Bruna. I realize I didn't give her really a different voice than Jasmine, so sorry.
Yes.
We are very anxious to be on our way this morning. There's some clouds rolling in, and we've been talking, and it was weird last night when we slept. It felt like the rest of the Kim were trying to contact us, but with the dreaming spring water, it's a one-way thing. We just got this sense that they were trying to tell us something urgent. We want to get home as soon as possible. We'd like to leave quickly if we can.
Yes. I've eaten, got all my stuff packed. I'm ready to go.
Yep.
I mean,
Everybody
yeah.
else ready to
Slap
go?
down the rest of my fruit pulp and put out the fire.
Okay.
So everybody will climb back in the kin pouches, for I don't know what else to call them. Yeah, and they again set off down. There's a nice area over, not draw pointer, over in this area where again they can take flight. Your flight this time, yesterday when you guys were flying, it was just very leisurely. They were just having a good time, but you notice that they're definitely flying with more purpose.
You guys sense danger?
No, not danger. It's just, I don't know. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we're just concerned. And do you see those clouds behind us? They look like rain, and it's kind of hard for us to fly in the rain. So we just want to get back as soon as we can.
Okay.
And then I also realized that I didn't make two separate maps for these two areas, but they're very similar. So we're just going to stay on the same map.
Alrighty.
Because
Okay.
Whatever, it's another forest. They all kind of look the same. But this one doesn't have a cave, so here, I'll cover up the cave. Oh, nope, or not. Cave. Go away. It's like it was never there.
Storm cloud.
Yeah, it's a giant storm cloud. So as you guys are flying and watching, you see that the Dread Mountain is getting closer and closer. And as you get closer to the mountain, suddenly the kin start going up higher and higher into the sky, which is a little bit weird since you're getting ready to land. You would think.
And where are we going?
Oh, well, see, if we fly higher and come in really fast, it's harder for the gnomes to hit us with their arrows.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Gonna
That's a
hit some
thing.
keys.
Are you sure that gnomes are still here? I mean, hasn't it been like 200 years?
Well, this is technically the gnome's home right now that they stole.
I mean, technically they didn't steal it. We all lived here. We just never got along very well, but then they started using the poison on their arrows and killing the kin in larger numbers, and so we left.
So stealing, yes.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear you over the wind.
So stealing, yes.
More like murder, but okay.
Well, yes.
I like the fact that I brought the campfire with you guys. Just noticed that. Okay, delete. Okay. So they're gonna tell you guys, hold on tight. We're gonna come in for a landing. And they begin swooping and wheeling through the sky, zooming upwards and dropping again. They're just, like you've seen the videos of the planes that do like the acrobatics and stuff up in the sky. That's basically what they're doing. They're wheeling in different directions, up and down, making
I need to roll
evasive
something.
maneuvers. And
I need to roll something.
I need everybody to roll me a Constitution
Well-
saving throw.
I need to do it at disadvantage because I've got that fruit pulp in me.
Oh, I'll let you do that.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't matter when you crit fail.
Hmm.
This is what I get for using Marston's dice on anyone that isn't Marston.
Yep. 6 for Salen.
And
I got it.
for me.
You guys, I couldn't hear you over each other. What was that, Octavius?
10.
10? Oleg?
15.
So, Oleg, you're feeling very green around the gills, but you are able to keep your breakfast down. It's probably a good thing that all you have in your stomach is bread. It kind of, has calmed your stomach. Everyone else is definitely very, very sick. Everybody's turning shades of green. Some of you are dry heaving. Some of you, specifically Octavius, is retching over the side of the pouch of their kin.
I crit failed. So
And
yes,
so is, so is Blake. You guys are both just, Blake's stomach doesn't hold a lot, but it's amazing how much you can vomit up at one time.
you know what's ironic? Is mice and rats can't throw up.
Oh, well, you can,
Whole
because
pine
you're
cone.
not just a mouse or a rat.
Thank God.
whole pine
I would
cone
just
scooped out.
die.
Given everybody else's current medical state of sickness, Oleg, I would like you to give me a perception check.
Oh. 27?
Of course, because you can't get below like fucking 30 hardly ever. Anyway, so as you watch, you see the first of the gnome's arrows fly past you, and the kin are dropping lower and lower into the sky to get out of range of the gnome archers who live higher up on the mountain. And they dive down through the canopy of these trees, and they basically crash land in the trees. Sorry for the rough landing. Oh dear, that didn't go. It's been a while. There's so many more trees here than when we were here last.
You guys okay? Anybody get hit?
Well, I feel gross. I need a shower now. I there's much vomit. Do you guys do that a lot?
Oh,
Only when
not
they
usually.
move,
I don't like
move
this
too fast.
feeling.
None of us fly.
Oh, I'm very sorry. We were trying to avoid the archers and
No,
yeah.
no, you're good. This isn't us problem.
Yeah.
But sisters,
Well,
look at these blue
it's more
log
of a
trees.
it's more of an everybody problem right now. Cause have you seen the inside of this pouch?
Mmm. Mmm.
Nasty.
You should probably clean that up, Octavius.
At least I did it over the
Right.
side.
I mean, do I hose out the creature? I mean, is there a kin hose? I mean, what do I do here?
She's gonna give you a
I
very
mean,
deathly stare and just walk over. We'll say this is the one you were riding with. She just goes and climbs in the stream and starts washing herself off. And the others follow suit as well too. They're staring longingly at these trees, but they decide to go
you guys just
wash
see
up a
this
bit.
huge puff of fruit start washing down the river.
I didn't throw up. Oh, I feel not great.
So while these kin are taking their little bath to clean up after you guys, anybody that would like to give me a nature check on these trees? And again, sorry I didn't make a separate nap, but you know, just imagine that there's a lot more trees. They're very, very dense.
21 for
18.
Salen.
18 for Olik.
What was it?
Nature.
1 for me as well.
17.
What did you say, Octavius?
21.
Oh, well, Octavius is going to see this very well as well too. But all of you are going to notice that these are, again, they're a conifer type tree. They're like a pine tree, but unlike the pine trees at Kinrest, the pine cones on these trees have very, very sharp thorns on them. The thorns are probably 2 to 3 inches long on all the way around these pine cones, and the needles on these trees themselves are exceptionally thorny.
It's like a Paneco.
More sharp. Imagine a tree of like really probably 4 or 5 inch long needles that are sharp as shit and not very bendable.
Well, I don't really want to eat one of those. You know? It might hurt coming out.
So the kin will finish taking their little baths in the river, and then they're going to come over and they're just going to start picking off a bunch of these pine cones and shoving them in their pouch. Oh, we've missed these so much. They are so good.
Isn't that going to hurt?
No.
Sharp.
Oh, I guess. I mean, we've never had a problem. You guys will have noticed that they do have, you know, especially where you're riding in their pouches, they do have very, very thick skin.
So Wolf's having this imagery of like arrows penetrating, but not needles from pine cones.
It's kind of different. One is shot with force, one is willingly consumed.
I was just saying that he was thinking. I didn't say that out loud.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So you guys are going to be able to get out of here okay?
Oh, yeah, there's a rocky outcropping just over there, and she's going to gesture towards it. We're just going to finish filling up our pouches so we can take some of these pine cones back, and then we're going to go.
Is there is there anything you can tell us about this place up here?
Yeah, the
We could,
gnomes live up higher on the mountain.
okay. Is there a lot of caves in the mountain where the gnomes hide, live? Do you know?
Um, yes, they do. They do seem to live in some caves. There's some other like they'd have like these little buildings that they'd use as in case they got caught out in the weather or something because they live really high up on the mountain and there's bad weather, snow, whatnot, and so they'd have little huts that they would stay in.
So is it just gnomes that inhabit this area now?
Uh, I mean, there's like wild animals,
Okay.
like you know, rabbits and raccoons
Okay.
and um,
Yes.
some
Thank
mountain
you very
goats, I
much for your
guess.
help.
Maybe some whatever you'd find on a mountain.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help getting up here.
Yes, I wish we could stay longer, but that storm is. It doesn't look good. We need to go.
I won't keep you. Thanks again. Thank you.
Sorry about the mess.
Goodbye. Yeah. Next time we'll bring tarps. Just kidding. I don't say that. So they will load up their packs and they will again run off the edge of this cliff. And watching it from the outside, it's even almost more terrifying seeing how they take flight. I mean, you guys have experienced it twice now, but these creatures do not look like they should be flying.
So, are you guys hungry again?
Pass.
Kind of just lost what you ate.
I think I'll also pass.
Did you ask something,
All
Oleg?
right.
Sorry.
I just asked if the group was hungry since they
Oh, I
lost
thought you'd
all
asked
their.
another question at the end of that. Sorry.
No. Do we see kind of a pathway? Can do a perception check to see a good starting point to work our way up?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check. We'll see what you see.
30.
So with a 30, you guys are you're checking around the area, and without the kin here, it seems like these trees have filled in a lot. I mean, you can assume by looking at these trees and these cones on them that they're not, the normal diet of most creatures, and certainly probably not the diet of gnomes. And so, with all these free falling pine cones, or boolong cones, I guess I should call them, the trees have definitely filled in a lot since the kin were here, and there's not really any obvious paths. You can see kind of where it probably there had been paths, but it's very overgrown with trees.
You getting anything from these trees, Jasmine?
Um, sure. Let me go give that a shot here and see what they see. Or what am I? What do you want me to? Just a general feeling from the trees?
Sure.
Okay. Uh, they're very happy trees.
Okay.
They seemed to like the kin being back.
Do they know anything about gnomes being around here?
What is a gnome exactly? I know we've said it a lot of times, but I'm not sure how to convey that to them.
Short creatures that are human-like,
Okay, well,
very small human-like creatures.
small human-like creatures. I will try that again, and hmm, they do say They seem to recognize that, yes, that those are things.
Are any of those things near here?
Uh, mm, I guess what okay, Octavius, we haven't talked about this a whole lot. I can get senses of emotion from the trees, but I can't they don't talk in the way that we talk, so it's just kind of like feelings that I get from them. It's it's not so much 21 questions as far as details. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They just give me kind of emotions and can kind of confirm my feelings as well too. I can certainly try again and see. So, do you want to know if they're right here? What are you?
I just wondering if there's anything nearby we should be fearing.
Fear. Okay, well, let me see what they feel about fear. They don't like fire.
That's good. Fire's
Naturally,
bad.
fire sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're gonna get anything from the trees other than what she said. Um, don't really see a good pathway to go on. Do we want to follow the river or stream?
I would enjoy following the river or the stream.
So this stream basically follows the along the base of the mountain.
Okay. We don't see any kind of cave entrance anywhere.
Nope. No, because
Pathway.
they've already told you that the gnomes live higher up on the mountain.
And we need to go up.
You can surmise that, yes.
Then let's head up.
Ceylin and Blake, what are you guys doing?
Uh, Sailin will spend a little bit of time just looking at the river as she follows them up. But she does follow, even though she's sad about leaving the water behind.
Um, yeah, I think Blake's just kind of following along. Like, huh, pointy pine cones. Lots of trees. Great. Yep. Very in my comfort zone. Yep.
Um, somebody give me a perception check. Whoever realistically thinks that they would be, kind of looking not necessarily just specifically for a path, but,
Well, Oleg has godlike perception, so I think Oleg should do our perception check.
I think Oleg's just trying to find any kind of way to get up this mountain. I can roll for that, but I don't know how specific you want it.
I mean, if you're staring specifically at the ground looking for a path away through these trees, then
Oh
no, it
no,
would not be something that you would notice.
no. Oleg would be looking for ledges, any kind of way to get up because he knows that we got to go up, and if he doesn't see anything on the ground, then he's gonna be looking
Gotcha.
around the cliff face. For perception, I got a 22.
22. So as you're looking up and so it's not necessarily that you guys are standing on against a cliff. It's just that this is definitely a mountain. It's going to be a hike up. It's seems like higher that you look on the mountain, there's more rocky, less trees, but it's just the issue of getting through this forest to get up to where the rocks and stuff start, really. But as you're looking at this and trying to figure out the best way through these sharp trees, you notice something in the sky. And looking at it, at first it just kind of seems like it's just a blob in the sky, and you're like, oh, maybe it's just a bird. But the more that you watch, you realize that this looks like it's a kin.
Does it say Oleg can bust out his telescope and look?
Does Oleg have a telescope?
Oleg sure does. One of the things he bought from Tom.
Oh, well, no, what you bought from Tom was a was a
Was actually,
telescope that looks around corners.
yeah, I just make it look like look around corners.
It doesn't necessarily, it's not that it makes things bigger. It's like, you know how you see those mirrors in like
Yeah,
office buildings and
okay.
just let you look around the corner.
Uh,
That's what you have. So yeah, you can certainly look through it. But it's not going to make it any bigger, but you can look through it.
okay.
Lamest
Well, guys, it
telescope
looks like
ever.
another kin is coming in.
Oh,
Something must have happened.
But you will note that you only see one. And there were
Guys,
four
I
that
only
left.
see one.
There you go.
Just one. It's coming in.
Maybe it's a mean one.
Yeah, they don't seem like they're an angry sort of people. Otherwise, I don't think the gnomes would have won this war.
maybe it's the young one that we met.
It seemed like a full size one, didn't it?
I mean, it's really
Well,
high
these
up in
other
the
than-
sky. I mean, it seems almost higher than what you guys were coming in for a landing at, so that's a little concerning. So it's kind of hard to totally judge the size.
So Oleg's gonna wave his hands like, hey,
These
we're
ones have been
here.
separated from the others for 200 years, haven't they? So they might not be the most friendly compared to the ones we know.
I think they all got exiled off the mountain, didn't they?
Yeah, they had all left together. So as you guys are watching and looking at this speck up in the sky getting suddenly closer because it does appear that it's trying to land, you're going to see a volley of arrows travel across the sky, and high up on the mountain you hear a triumphant yell and you hear laughter up the mountain as an arrow strikes the kin and it begins to plummet from the sky.
Sailin is immediately running to see if she can like get in range to do anything as it's falling, like just to like try to like be there to catch it or something.
How
Do any of our stones do anything that can help?
I was gonna ask, how big are the kin, like in weight wise?
They're very large, so they were easily able to carry all of you, including you, Oleg, which we had determined is the largest. Even the smallest kin, Prin, came up to your shoulder. So they're very large creatures, and they're very round and dense. So you can assume that a full-grown adult one would probably weigh easily 500 pounds.
500 pounds, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Sailin is still running.
Mm,
Oh, the sight, the thought of that.
I'll catch you.
No, that's pretty much my max lifting capacity.
You gotta be shitting me.
Oleg is going to cast Deva's Wings on himself.
Cast what?
Deva's Wings on himself.
Oh, I don't know this spell. What does that do?
It gives me flight.
Oh. Okay, well, now Oleg can
Um,
just fucking fly.
Yes, it's one of my new spells. And he is going to meet the kin, and he's not going to necessarily be able to flat out like carry, but he's going to be able to slow the fall of the kin.
So as you leap into the sky and you begin flying up to this creature that is falling. Go ahead and give me a strength saving throw. I want to see what this kin does when you run into each other.
Grit.
You catch it like it was the
So
lightest
23.
feather ever, and then you realize that it is quite heavy, and you begin lowering to the ground. But you don't have any problems. It doesn't, knock you off course or anything.
It'll
So
probably be
they're
another
fine. They're not plummeting anymore.
They're not
It's a
plummeting.
controlled
Oleg is
descent.
just carrying it down like a light feather somehow, even though this thing is almost as big as he is.
I mean, Oleg's gonna feel this for sure. It's I'm not gonna hop down and be like, "Yeah, that was easy." Hold the shoulder muscle or something.
Well, with a 20, though, it doesn't like smack you off course. You're able to grab her and bring her down to the ground without crashing or anything. I mean, she's still heavy, don't get me wrong, but it looked way easier than you would have thought it would have been.
Right.
And definitely went better than Salen trying to catch her, because that probably would have hurt a lot.
I have plenty of magic to deal with this, but I would have. My plan was going to be using a spell called Gust of Wind, which can push. It doesn't even specify size, so this thing could push. A gust of wind could technically push a gargantuan creature. So I assume it would have enough strength to slow down that fall, had that needed to happen.
Yeah, that probably would have been better than my plan. Immensely better than my plan.
There
Unless
was
the
also
spell
my-
went
my-
wrong and then you blew her off course and just smacked her into the side of the mountain.
Well, it would I would just get right under her, and then I can just do it straight up. And then there was also my second plan was wall of water, just to let her just slow her down with the gust of wind, and then put her in a wall of water.
Oleg will remember this in the future.
So, Oleg, as you land, you will see that you are in fact holding Prin, the youngest of the kin. And she is just making really sad whimpering noises. And this arrow has pierced her chest as she has, and it has fallen out, but you can see that there was something on this arrow. There's like a green residue on her chest that's mixed with the blood that's pouring from this arrow.
Salen is going to rush over and cast Cure Wounds on pull the arrow out and cast Cure Wounds on it. Just seal up that hole and, so she's not bleeding out.
Okay, that will definitely take care of the hole, but it's not going to eliminate
she
the
poisoned?
poisoning. Yeah.
Oh, I can also do Lesser Restoration.
We always say so. Believe it to a customer is a promise.
You got less restoration?
Let me check. Yes, I do. Yeah, so I can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
There you go. That'll do it.
So I will cast Lesser Restoration, and then I'll also cast Cure Wounds. Cure Wounds is going to be D8 plus my spellcasting modifier plus 2, so plus 3. So D8. 5.
Oleg, are you still holding Prin, or have you laid her down on the ground, or what did you do with her?
I kind of propped her up, laying down or sitting up or whatever, and he's definitely rubbing his back.
That'll be 12 hit points back to the little buddy.
So between your restoration, your lesser restoration, and your cure wounds, you definitely stabilize. As you were casting these spells, you'd seen her eyes start to kind of close and her head kind of start to loll to the side, but this definitely revives her, and she kind of shakes her head and looks around, and she's like, "Oh, did I fall? I couldn't miss my only chance to see the mountain, and so I followed the others. I slept near you guys last night at the Kin's Rest, and the others flew so quickly today that I couldn't keep up very well, and then the clouds came in, and I was so tired. I thought that I was hurt." and then I fell. And she reaches over and she reaches for the hole on her chest, but it has closed from your combination of cure wounds and the lesser restoration.
Are
You
you
were hurt,
okay?
but that was very dangerous of you to be doing this without letting the others know.
I Well, I didn't expect him to go so fast, and I just really wanted to see the mountain.
I can't fault you for wanting to see the mountain, but we're here to make it safe so you can live here again.
I know. I'm sorry. And she's gonna stand up and she says, so where are the others? I'm so excited. I can't. They're gonna be so surprised to see me.
They left pretty quickly because they were worried about that storm cloud that's coming this way.
Oh. Well, how am I gonna get home?
Well, how long has it been since they left?
It's maybe been half hour or so.
And that storm cloud has gotten a lot closer?
Yeah, it's
And we
starting
can't
to sprinkle.
and we can't send her back in the air. She'll just get shot again.
No.
I was shot?
Yes.
No, you were totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Sayla, don't lie to her.
That's what
She's
hurt.
a child.
Yeah, who did a stupid thing? Play stupid games, win stupid
I'm
prizes.
not stupid.
Aren't you? You're not stupid. Be nice to her. And she gives like the most death glare she can at Blake.
Blake sticks her
I'm
tongue
gonna
out
say
at you
that it
while
was
not
stupid,
looking
but it
at
was-
you at all.
Can I roll an intimidation check on that one?
No, feel free.
That is a
I'm not
natural
gonna say what
18.
the kid was stupid, but it was.
21.
What
You
do
don't
I
have to be
roll?
intimidated. You don't have to be intimidated. Just that's how intimidating it would be to somebody else.
What do I roll despite that?
Despite that, let's see what would be good.
Constitution.
Because I'll let the dice decide what Blake does.
God, there isn't a
Seems like a
great one. Yeah,
Constitution thing.
Constitution's about the best that there is.
Wisdom
Certainly.
saving throw, maybe.
Ooh, wisdom.
I like wisdom better.
Wisdom is good. Yes.
That's a 3.
Cool.
Blake is not looking at you. There is 0 eye contact happening.
We have to win.
Well, Bryn, I think you're gonna have to come with us.
Girls here.
Oh.
Like, try to put
Okay. And you watch as she walks over and she just starts grabbing these boolong cones and shoving them in her mouth and chomping down on them. They are good. Oh my gosh, these are so much better than they said they were. These are amazing. And she's just pushing through these bushes and trees, no problem at all.
I look around and I find one of those cones and I pop it in my mouth.
Yeah, okay. So you, buddy, are...
Go. It's my thing.
Well, it might be your thing, but these are real sharp and you are not accustomed to eating 4-inch needles, so you're going to take 10 points of damage as you try to do this, and then one of these spines jabs you in the roof of the mouth.
Are you sure I couldn't eat this? Because goats eat freaking tin cans.
But you're not a goat. You're just
Yeah, you're a
I
human
am mostly
head.
goat.
your bottom half.
You're
The
still
top
human
half
head.
is semi-goat too. I got horns.
You got horns, but you got a humanoid mouth. Otherwise, you'd just be going brr, brr.
You tell those pellets behind me that I'm not a goat.
More like you tell your companions they're gonna pick up the pellets that you're leaving behind if you're just incontinent and shitting all over the place.
Why do you think she charged me 65 silver?
Bryn, your mother's.
I don't even get a roll to see how well I ate it. I
Nope.
just take damage.
Nope. Fuck around and find out, buddy.
Well, I also think I would be smart enough to
You
know that
know,
if
I'm
I was
gonna
eating
start
a
rolling
pine
more
cone,
dice if you're gonna keep arguing with me.
I'll let you all do until I'm dead from a pine cone. I don't even care.
Don't tempt her. She'll do it.
You don't understand the day that I've had. I will kill you.
She'll do it. Take it as from her child. She'll do it.
Yes. I might be sunny on the exterior, but I'm fire and flames on the inside, so. Yeah. Meanwhile, Prince making a really nice path for you guys. Congratulations, you have a not quite human weed eater.
I am your child. Yeah.
So, Bryn, your mom.
By the way, pine cones are delicious.
Yeah.
And there's like blood dribbling out of the side of his mouth.
They're a bit spicy, but they're really good.
Yeah, it's probably gonna hurt coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need a constitution saving throw for that too.
So, Bryn, your mom and her sisters.
We're all family.
Yes. Well, they got a bad feeling coming from the other kin. They didn't know what it was, but I'm imagining it's them saying that you left, so
Oh.
yes. So they hurried back to avoid the storm. And so yeah, you're gonna have to come with us because I couldn't in good conscience leave you.
I mean, yeah, I would be scared.
But there are bad things here. Those gnomes that shot you are still up there. So if you come with us, you have to
stay at our side.
listen when we
Specifically,
tell you if it's too dangerous.
you stay near me or Oleg.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay.
And I can be really helpful. I'm very helpful. And look, I can these trees, they don't bother me at all. It seems like you guys are a little bit more
We're delicate.
yeah. That's a good word for it. I was just going to say thin-skinned, but yeah, that makes more sense.
Yes. And we are happy to have your help.
Yay, you're happy. I'm happy.
Yes.
I don't want to get shot again.
No, I don't want to see you get shot again.
That's good.
We won't let that happen. You are safe with us.
Right. But okay, so I can definitely help clear a path because that's fine. I don't mind these trees at all. I like them. They're quite tasty. Chomp, 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 chomp. But
Except you shouldn't walk too far ahead of us.
right. I was just gonna say I'm gonna have to take the lead a little bit. Is that okay? I'll stay really close, but
That should be fine. Me and Oleg will be right behind you.
okay.
Can Blake be like on her shoulder or something? And she's large and Blake's tiny. And Blake would be able to keep a good eye out surrounding.
Yeah.
Prin is female. Prin does have a pouch.
I mean,
Put her in a pouch.
She doesn't really
That's up to-
have shoulders per se with her
I wanna
round
sit on her
egg
head.
shape.
you know, Oleg's just making suggestions. You gonna make Blake do anything? But
So what do you think, Blake? I mean, I'll follow as close as I can, but maybe you can see something before us.
Yeah, works for me.
Um, do you want to climb in my pouch? It might not be super roomy, but I mean that's an option. Or I'd say I could carry you, but that might not work very well. But you're gonna have to be really careful because I I don't want you to get like hit with a branch if it slaps back at you or anything. Just be careful.
Um, yeah, sure. I'll climb in the pouch. This is effectively the same thing as baby Bjorning me, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've baby
You
Bjorned
guys
the
managed.
entire party.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
It was great. And you only just noticed.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I got my revenge for it though. I did throw up all over inside the pouch.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, there is that, but so
And other stuff, but we'll just talk about the throw up.
which way do you want me to go? Point the direction and I will start helping.
Well, we can kind of
Blake,
see where the trail was. And kind of being covered up though, can we?
Yes, yeah, you were able to see where it was. It had been. The trees were a little bit shorter. They're not as filled in, but definitely there's still a lot of trees. But even after hundreds of years, you can still see like the tracks of where everybody crossed for the Oregon Trail. It's kind of like that. There's still just kind of like a permanent rut there, but it has filled in quite a bit with trees.
Maybe we can follow this pathway.
Okay, I will try to get as many of the branches and these tasty pine cones out of the way as possible.
Thank you, Bryn.
So she is going to start up the mountain. Now, this isn't going to be a very fast journey because there's a lot of these branches, and you guys are definitely going to have to be very careful because, sharp, pointy things.
Right.
As you guys start climbing up this mountain and making progress, go ahead and give me. I don't want to give any more perception checks because frickin' Oleg is ridiculous. Give me a survival check. Switch it up.
21.
Anybody else want to try to outdo Oleg or?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. So as you guys are climbing along, and I would say definitely Oleg and Celine are definitely on guard, feeling kind of parental towards Prin. Blake, for you, this is a little bit weird because it's like having a child that's considerably larger than you, so you're kind of having some mixed emotions about it. But you're on alert as well too. But Oleg, you notice that they had told you about some of these huts, and you will see one probably about 10, 15 feet off of the path that you guys are traveling along. And it just looks like a little hut. You can just kind of see part of a roof sticking out amongst the trees.
There's one of those huts Runa warned us about.
What's a hut?
It's typically a wooden house that people live in.
Oh.
It's that thing over there.
Oh.
Point.
Do you want to go over there?
What does everyone want to do?
I'm just gonna follow the leader right now.
These huts, from what we know of these huts, they're not evil, right? Like they're, I mean, is this where like the gnomes who shot her live, kind of deal, or?
What they said is they just use these as like kind of like rest points or stopping points if they got caught on the mountain in the weather.
And that storm is still coming, right?
It's definitely raining on you guys right now. It
We
had
should
started
we should stop for
sprinkling,
the night
but
before that rain gets worse, and we don't know if we'll find another hut again.
Now we need to make sure that there's no gnomes in there too.
are they gonna shoot me?
No, they're not going to shoot you.
That hurt.
Yeah.
So is there like a pathway that we can get to the hut that's not all?
No, because again, it looks like this is filled in with trees in this area as well too. So Pring can definitely help clear a path to get you guys over to where the hut is. And pardon my really bad drawing of a hut, but there's your hut.
Okay, Bryn, let's take it real slow, but we'll work our way over to that hut.
Okay. So she's gonna start chomping along and smacking the branches back out of the way to let you guys through.
Okay. So is this like a gnome-sized hut?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Blake, do you want to do the honors to going in and checking it out?
Pass.
So
Uh,
the door on this hut's probably it's probably only maybe 4 feet tall. I mean, Oleg, you're substantially taller than that, but you could duck and smush your way through definitely, as well too.
How tall is Octavius?
Didn't he say he was like 5'7" or something?
Yeah, 5 something. I'm short. I'm short, relatively.
Can I do a perception check to see if I hear anything?
Sure.
Or like maybe sense anything or whatever. 28.
You don't hear anything, and just even looking at this hut as you guys get closer to it and you're able to see better as the trees are cleared out of the way, it looks like it's in pretty bad repair. It looks like this probably hasn't been used for a long time.
Salen will just go into it. No more prep time. She's just gonna put bend, kneel down and crawl her way in, or no, will squat her way in.
And Sadlin, as you go inside this little hut, you're gonna see it's very dusty, dirty inside. There's some cracks in the ceiling, but it's not. There's still a roof there. It's not just pouring rain in, so you guys could definitely shelter here for the night. But it does look like it has been abandoned for a long time. There's not really anything useful in here. There's a couple of chairs that are gnome size, so Blake will be comfortable. That's about it.
She'll call to everybody. We should be fine in here.
Well, I'll hang out on the porch.
You, I mean, I think we can get in there, Oleg.
It looks really big.
Well, okay, ignore my horrible drawing. So, the floor plan of this, it's probably 20 feet by 20 feet. It's not going to be super luxurious, but you guys would be able to stay dry in here for the night.
Okay.
It's just going to be cramped. And you might have to kind of duck as you're inside, because the ceilings are probably only, probably 5 feet, 5.5 feet tall. So you guys aren't going to be able to all stand up upright. Except Blake. Blake is very comfortable.
Yeah. Lucky Blake. Oak will just find a corner and just kind of curl up.
So you guys want to rest here for the night then?
Yeah, I think so.
So you guys tuck in for the night. Is anybody keeping guard or anything? Or
Oh, definitely. Absolutely, all it would be. we're in a very hostile environment.
Well, and you will have noticed that chances of the gnomes being in this low down on the mountain are probably relatively low, just with how overgrown it is. That's probably why this particular hut hasn't been used in a long time, because without the kin here to keep the trees back, really the gnomes have suffered to a certain point, because now they can't travel the mountain as easily because of all these trees, because they will just tear the shit out of your skin.
Yeah, but Bullock's also kind of babysitting in a way too. He's got a charge that
True.
now feels incredibly more protective over. So I think he's going to be a little more on edge.
Fair enough. I was just trying to give you a little bit more sense
Yeah.
of what you're feeling in this area.
Yeah. So yeah, Bullock will definitely take time to keep watch. I don't know about anybody else, but he would.
Phelan would as well. And take her turn to take watch.
Prin definitely will not take watch. She's going to go to sleep. She's very tired and she had a
Mhm.
bad boo boo today.
Yep. Nope. She sleeps.
So you guys make it through the night. You know, hear anything? You are all a little bit getting damp just from the cracks in the ceiling. But otherwise, it's a pretty uneventful night. And you wake up in the morning and the storm has passed sometime during the night. And you guys are able to set off back up the mountain. But we'll end it there.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna head out quick already. My sister's still in town, so
Oh, gotcha.
thank you for running this session.
Of course.
Yeah. It was
Yep.
fun.
See y'all next week.